As you can see here, we're just playing with all of them at this point, right? In FL Studio, we could go over to the forums right here, and then from the forums, we could go to either MIDI control scripting if your device is not in FL Studio already, or if it is, you could go to the reference list to see, just in case you don't know. I'm gonna click MIDI control scripting, and then for me, mine is the Keylab Essential right here, 61, and then go to the one I have to go to, which is Keylab Essential right here, download it, and it'll have some folders, but it'll have Python codes in there. In this one, there is a PDF that goes through the instructions of what you're supposed to do, so that's really nice. Next up, you'll want to go into the FL Studio and go to the file settings. You're going to see something called user data folder. This is where you're going to have to put the scripting. In my case, it's in my D drive, but for you, it might be something else. You could just click here, press OK, and just click up at the top to copy this directory if you don't know where it is. That way, when you go into a file explorer, paste that in there. You're going to want to go to the FL Studio folder, the settings folder, the hardware folder, and then Keylab Essentials. Well, this is where I put the folder. You're supposed to copy the folder, paste it over. Afterwards, make sure that your hardware is connected, it is recognized, and then you're going to want to select the correct controller for this. In my case with the PDF, now notice it says Essential V2 and stuff. That was just a older build, but make sure you have the same controller type selected. So for this one, it says MIDI in2, that's going to be the Keylab Essential. So you're going to click there, click on the controller type, and then you'll have to find it around the scripts area. Don't forget to set up the ports as well. Nothing has to be master synced. And if you want, you could copy these settings. Just like that, you'll be able to use the keyboard. In my case, I'll have to select the map select and then select it to my DAW. And that way I have control over the things like the mixer, the channel rack. I don't have multiple things, so you can't really see that. But also the browser. If I were to select the browser, here we have the ability to add in sounds if I want to, or even effects. So I could click it, send it to the channel, open a new channel. Now you can see in the channel rack, I'm able to select one or the other. Now the bottom looks like it's doing some funny dance, the mixer, but that's just because the routing is different. So if I were to go to 1 and 7, now you're gonna see it's gonna jump between insert 1, insert 7. The cool thing about finding the scripts for your keyboard and putting it into FL Studio is that you're gonna be able to have some integration with some of these sounds. Well, not some, but pretty much all of them, I think. We have the 3X oscillator. You can see the faders work specific parts of the interface, right? The last fader is going to adjust the selected tracks fader. So you can see here it's the master in this case. Now if I were to set the oscillator to a insert track, like 1, you can see that 1 is being adjusted right there. You can see this work very well though with Flex. You'll see we have those faders up there. That lets us control different parts, all 8 of them. And then again, the 9th is going to be whatever fader is selected in the mixer. But the knobs also work too on certain parts of the interface, which you can see right there. One thing I didn't mention, the mod wheel may show green. The pitch wheel will work. In that case, you go into the current project, remote control, and then you're going to right click the mod wheel, or just left click actually, and then move the mod wheel, and then we got it there. You can see the mod wheel is moving. Of course, the transport tools, we have the loop, which is actually a recording loop. We have the fast forward, as you see up there. We have the rewind. Up here, we have different functions. So if I show you for the save, for example, this is to cut whatever's in that channel selected. So let's say I go to the 3X, I don't want that. I'm just gonna press the save button. In my case, it's gonna be a cut, and it'll cut. Undo does an undo and redo. Metronome is the metronome. Punch actually is the overdubbing for the pianos if we were recording. Very good for performance. Last thing I gotta mention, these drum pads are set for the FPC's bottom 4 and whatever. You can see bottom 8. So yeah, you can see how well scripting helps out people who has different keyboards that FL Studio does not have in their list. FL Studio is pretty much saying, hey, you guys do it.